Murder mystery, where every clue counts and every twist surprises. Welcome back, mystery lovers. Today, we're diving into The Widow's Woe, a tale of riches, secrets, and a canine heir that might just have the last laugh. Chapter 1, A Death in the Mansion. It was a cold winter evening when Victoria Ashton, a wealthy widow, was found dead in her sprawling mansion, sprawled on the velvet couch with no signs of struggle. Her death seemed peaceful, too peaceful for anyone who had known her. She had no obvious enemies, and her health had been in decline for the past few months. But what baffled the investigators wasn't the cause of death, it was her will. The documents revealed something extraordinary. All of Victoria's fortune was to be inherited by none other than her beloved dog, Rufus, a temperamental Great Dane. Her relatives were furious, and the staff, eager for their own slice of the inheritance, were quick to gossip about her eccentricities. What could have possibly led her to make such a decision? The police were called, but the only officer available to investigate was Officer Dawson, a young, eager, and ambitious officer with only a few months of experience. Still, she was determined to crack this mystery, no matter how bizarre it seemed. Chapter 3, Secrets in the Walls. As Dawson searched the mansion, she found herself drawn to the hidden corners of the estate. There were old letters stashed in drawers, strange symbols carved into the walls of the cellar, and whispers about Victoria's late husband, Richard Ashton, whose death had been shrouded in mystery. Could Richard's death have been connected to Victoria's fortune? Had he been murdered, and had she discovered the truth in the years following? Dawson's instincts told her something didn't add up. She returned to the will and noticed an odd clause in it. If anything were to happen to Rufus, the money would go to Martha, the housekeeper. But why? She started to piece things together. The housekeeper, Martha, had been working for Victoria and Richard since their marriage. She knew all of the family's darkest secrets, including one that Victoria had recently uncovered about Richard's untimely death. If Rufus died, Martha would become the sole heir. It was starting to make sense. Victoria had uncovered Richard's murderer. She had realized that Martha had been involved in both Richard's death and the manipulation of Victoria's fortune. But Martha had one more trick up her sleeve, Rufus. Chapter 4, The Final Clue. With the pieces coming together, Officer Dawson knew she had to act quickly. She gathered the household together in the mansion's grand drawing room. Her eyes went to Rufus, sitting by the fire, watching the proceedings with an eerie calm. Suddenly, Dawson noticed something strange. The dog was carrying a small piece of paper in his mouth, as though it had been deliberately placed there for her to find. As she unrolled the paper, Dawson's heart skipped a beat. It was a crumpled photograph of Victoria's late husband, Richard, holding a gun. Written on the back was a single word, Martha. The truth was clear. Martha had murdered Richard all those years ago to inherit the fortune. But she couldn't afford to let Victoria figure it out. So, she had been manipulating the situation for years, hoping Victoria would pass away naturally, leaving the inheritance to the dog. When that plan failed, Martha resorted to murder, poisoning Victoria to ensure that Rufus would be the last living heir. But the photograph? It was the key to exposing her as the true murderer. Chapter 5, Justice Served. With the evidence in hand, Officer Dawson presented her findings to the police chief. Martha was arrested for both the murder of Richard Ashton and Victoria's untimely death. The rest of the household was shocked, but they too had their secrets. As for Rufus, the dog was taken to a new home with an experienced animal caretaker, far away from the mansion's dark history. His days as a rich heir were over, but somehow, Dawson couldn't shake the feeling that the dog had known more than anyone had ever realized. Epilogue, The Widow's Woe. As the case closed, Officer Dawson was hailed for her sharp instincts. But deep down, she knew that there would always be more mysteries lurking in the shadows. And somewhere in the quiet halls of that old mansion, Victoria Ashton's spirit still whispered the truth. Thanks for watching, mystery lovers. What do you think? Was Martha the true mastermind, or was there something even darker lurking in the shadows? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more thrilling mysteries. See you next time.